From ghoulies and ghosties.
From ghoulies and ghosties.
And long-leggedy beasties.
And long-leggedy beasties. And things that go bump in the night. Good Lord! Deliver us.
Deliver us.
Hello there, spooks and spookettes, and welcome to Count Drahoon Presents. I am your titular host, Count Drahoon, and tonight I present to you my review of the new film Good Luck, Have Fun, and Don't Die. Say that 10 times fast, why don't you? But before we begin, allow me to take care of the castle-keeping notes. Thank you so much for watching tonight's video. If you like what you see, be sure to like this video and subscribe to Count Drahoon Presents on YouTube. And if you want to take your support a little further, might I invite you to become a patron on my newly relaunched Patreon page. For $1 a month, you will get an exclusive video every month on my Patreon page just for you. And they are user-generated videos, so whatever you want to talk about, whether you want me to wax poetic about love affairs between aliens and werewolves, or rant about the Scream franchise, whether it's good or it's lost its luster, or whether or not I brush my teeth. I hope you assume that I'm a very hygienic vampire. Subscribe! $1 a month, you get that every month, and for $5 a month, you get the exclusive videos, plus exclusive access to my private server on Discord. I'm saying exclusive a lot, but I'm just emphasizing how exclusively exclusive all of these perks really are. So you get access to the Discord server, and on top of that, I'm going to add your name in the credits for every video that I do from this point on, as we add patrons, of course. But anyway, think it over, and let me know. Well, yeah, just subscribe if you can. Let's get right into the heart of the matter, and hopefully you won't feel the need to drive a stake through it. So I mentioned in my last review, when I talked about Cold Storage, that film was tied for first place as my favorite movie of 2026 so far. This is the other movie that is tied for first place. I'm about to use some big words, just FYI. It's very rare to watch a film that speaks to the zeitgeist of the moment of time that we are in right now. So honestly, and in such a creative way. This movie deals with AI. And it's fascinating because the villain itself is AI. And it's not, like, there's no euphemism. Like, they don't try to, like, call it something else, but you know what it is. Like, it's just AI. It's AI is the villain. And, spoiler alert, at some point in the movie, the AI does take a sentient form. So the villain essentially has a face to it. But basically the premise of the movie, Sam Rockwell plays the man from the future, as he's credited, and he materializes in a Norm's Diner in Los Angeles, and he gives this phenomenal, just battering ram of a monologue that lasts for 11 minutes, basically describing why he's there, which he's come to assemble a team to basically take out the next iteration of AI and to save humanity from a bleak and terrifying future. And he just goes into the history of like how humanity up to this point in terms of social media and AI has gotten to this particular point. And it's pretty accurate. It's actually bone-chilling. It's funny because of all the the little shenanigans that Sam Rockwell does and the interactions that he has with the diner customers. But I found it frightfully accurate. But this is what good science fiction is supposed to be. it's supposed to be a film that has a message, a subtext to it. You know, it's either a morality play or it's a cautionary tale. In this case, I think it's a little bit of both. But it does it in such a way where it entertains the audience with what's been dubbed as gear porn, you know, with all the bells and the whistles and the gizmos and all the neat time machine effects, as it were, and the creature feature stuff, which that's a separate component, but it's there nonetheless. This is a movie that really, it speaks to everybody. Because I feel like where we are right now, everybody's afraid of AI, and rightfully so. You know, your Count has taken a stance long ago to not incorporate AI with any of the arts that I do or associate with. And what I mean by that is, you know, the thumbnails that you see on my channel and the thumbnails that you see on my Kings of Horror videos, they're all done by people. I don't use AI to generate those images. I know that in the past, you know, I've had some folks that have made AI just sort of as a goof, but I've never endorsed that, and I still don't. You know, a lot of reviewers that are talking about this movie, you know, they talk about the humorous aspects and, of course, you know, the aspects about the AI. What I feel that they miss in talking about this movie is just how disturbing it actually is. Because think about it. The man comes to the future because he is trying to... He's not trying to get rid of AI. He's trying to get rid of the next iteration of AI, which is going to be infinitely worse. He's basically saying that, you know, this world that you live in is terrible and it's broken, and it is. And there's nothing we can do about it. So, the world is bad, and it sucks. And that's just the way it's going to be. But I am only here to make sure that it doesn't get any worse than what it already is. That's just so sad to me. It really is. It's heartbreaking. Just the fact that it's like we're trapped, basically. And it's like the only thing that we can do is, as prisoners of all this, is just sort of a bargain for better conditions and not make things worse for ourselves. You know, the other aspect of it, and I thought that this was told brilliantly through Juno Temple's story arc in this one, her character. She's a mother that loses her son in a school shooting. And it's just very weird because she gets sort of absorbed in, I don't want to call it a cult, but there's not really a better way to describe it. This group of people who have also lost children in school shootings, but they've had their children cloned. And I just think in a way, you know, it paints a really disturbing picture. It's like technology advances in such a way that it cheapens the sanctity of human life. Because it's like, you know, these parents are talking about the fact that, you know, they've lost their kids like 3 or 4 times to, you know, different school shootings, but they, you know, they just keep going back and having them cloned. And there's this one exchange. It was hard to laugh. I know that they tried to play it up for laughs, and they did a good job. I mean, the writing was superb in this movie. But it's like, Juno Temple runs into this couple that have had their daughter cloned, like, I think they said 3 or 4 times. I'd have to check the math on that. But basically, they just were so numb and desensitized from the tragedy of losing their daughter over and over again that they just decided to have fun with it and clone her daughter in such a way that she basically came out like a freak of nature, and they were laughing about it. It was so gut-wrenching. And that was one of the images of the movie that really stuck with me. That entire sequence of the movie. The other one was Ingrid. She's the character that dresses like a princess. She has a very interesting quirk. I love characters that have like little quirks. It's like with Cold Storage, you know, I mentioned the fact that Liam Neeson was this military guy who was totally capable but had some really bad back problems. Like with Ingrid, she is a woman that is allergic to technology for whatever reason. It's a very strange scientific anomaly. And she meets a man who isn't really into technology. He uses a map to go places and such. She works for a princess impersonation company, and he's a pizza delivery guy. And so they meet at a rich person's house, like a birthday party, because he's late because he got lost because he was using a map. So they hit it off. They fall in love, and they have a baby. But then somewhere out of the blue, he decides to get a VR headset, and he becomes so addicted to virtual reality that he doesn't want to live in the real world. He doesn't want to live with his girlfriend. And he decides that he's going to go away to virtual reality and live for the rest of his life, leaving his wife and his unborn child. That felt real, because it feels like a lot of us, and I'm not trying to be pretentious when I say this, but I do think that we collectively, and I'm talking about myself as well, I fall into this. Your Count is horrible about going on social media and just scrolling and doom scrolling. But I do think that we're all kind of addicted to our phones, our screens, our social media, everything. So I could see like how virtual reality, I mean, if there aren't already people addicted to it, how it could become that addicting, because you just look around and it's just, we're all kind of there anyway. And yeah, the movie does a good job of capturing that. I keep doing this. What am I, Dave Letterman? If you step away from it all, like the kids becoming brainwashed by their phones, by the AI technology on the phones, and then literally becoming zombies and attacking people and becoming violent. It's so much so that, the teachers can't handle them, their parents can't handle them. Even though that whole sequence is not, I guess what I'm trying to say is that even though that whole sequence is exaggerated, it doesn't feel like an exaggeration. It feels like that actually happens. And, going back to the whole, the premise when they talked about the school shooting, and I feel like the movie kind of was hinting that AI was the cause of this too. And from what I've heard from just, your Count talks to people. I talk to teachers, and just, normal people. And that does seem to be a real thing, where students will say all kinds of mean and horrible things to each other online, but sometimes when you get them in the same room and they're tangibly together, it's like a completely different universe. And I think in a way that, that was sort of the angle that was playing, is that, the school shootings are happening because the line between virtual reality and our reality is becoming so blurred that any sort of violent reaction that somebody might have, it will manifest itself in the physical world instead of online or in the virtual reality. So I thought that was very, very interesting. And like I mentioned before, the AI is almost like Satan in a way, because it does take on a physical form. And there is a part where, the AI tries to make a Faustian bargain with the characters. So, and I guess in a way it's sort of making one now. It's some of the folks that are proponents of AI are, trying to sell it to us as, a way to, make life better for ourselves, a way for condensing research, a way to, improve our lives by making things more efficient, but at what cost? And I think that's the question that this movie asks. It explores that, and it taps into the fears that all of us have. Such a prescient movie, and I hope I don't sound like a pretentious film critic by saying that, but it's just so rare that you see a movie like this that's really speaking to its audience. I just feel like Hollywood hasn't really done that in a long time. And really, if you want to get technical, I don't even think that you can say that this movie is a Hollywood movie, so to speak. It was produced and directed by Gore Verbinski. And it was interesting to me because I found out that Verbinski basically, I guess he kind of sort of went the same route that David Koepp did, is that he made this movie by sort of cobbling a bunch of independent production companies, because the budget for this movie was relatively low by Hollywood standards. It was only about 20 million, I think. And apparently the major studios didn't want to touch it. And it's probably because a lot of the major studios are, particularly like MGM, it's owned by Amazon. You know, a lot of these companies are basically smaller parts of a larger portfolio for a lot of these tech giants that are taking over the world. So, right now, I would say Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and Cold Storage. Those are my two favorite films of 2026 so far. We got a long year. So, anyway, what did you think? Did you go see this film? I don't know if it will be in theaters by the time this video comes out. You know what? I actually just read that they are extending the theatrical run because the movie is doing so well. So, hopefully it's still out in theaters by the time this video reaches you. If not, I'm sure you'll be able to get it on digital very soon. But if it's in theaters, go see it the way that it's intended to be seen. Try to see it in front of a crowd. I actually was pleasantly surprised at the turnout in my local theater. There were quite a lot of people there for I think I saw it on a Wednesday night. Yeah, so and they showed it in like one of the bit larger screening rooms. So that was a good sign. So anyway, thank you so much for watching my review, and I hope you liked this video. And I hope you're subscribed to Count Drahoon Presents so that you can stay notified for my next one. But until then, as far as things go, when things go bump in the night, there are such things.
From ghoulies and ghosties.
From ghoulies and ghosties.
And long-leggedy beasties.
And long-legged beasties.
And things that go bump in the night.